administration, teachers, faculty, families, fellow students, good evening. My name is Ben McCansey, and I am honored to be speaking before you today. When I began writing my graduation speech, my aim was to have my speech accepted. Thus, taking into account the wisdom and high standards of those who would be judging it, I ventured to structure my speech around a meaningful metaphor. Life is like a Rubik's Cube. Solve it. Life is like Mario Kart. Sometimes it drops you some slippery bananas, and other times it leads you eagerly into a mystery box. I remembered something my mom always said: life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I tried throwing in quotes by intellectual greats. However, I didn't even know what half of those quotes meant. I'm horrible at Mario Kart. I have yet to solve a Rubik's Cube, and Forrest Gump's accent should really be left for Tom Hanks to do. So I concluded that it would be better to concentrate on something that I could actually understand. And after much careful thought, I decided that beyond any doubt, what best symbolizes this moment, what best symbolizes here, now, today, is the song Friday by Rebecca Black. Remember what I said about trying to win the approval of the judges? Well, as it turned out, most of them didn't have the slightest idea who Rebecca Black is or what her song Friday is about. Thus, I have been counseled by those wiser than I to advise those in the audience who have not heard Friday that, as Mr. Udell eloquently put it, Rebecca Black is to music as the Taliban is to ethics. During the next few minutes, however, I will be explaining why he's wrong. Many of us know that Friday was one of the most watched internet videos of last year, and this alone is testimony to Rebecca Black's sheer brilliance. Millions of people clicked on the song Friday, and it was, obviously, to tune in to hear Rebecca's enlightening, wise words. Her audience stretches over many ages, but I will argue that this song is most suited for us, my fellow seniors. Believe it or not, this song is a perfect illustration of the perspective of a graduating senior. It's evident even from the very first lyrics of the song, where Rebecca wakes up at 7 a.m., goes downstairs, and has cereal. Did we as seniors have cereal in the morning? Yes, we did. Did we go downstairs in the morning? Why, yes, we did. Did we as seniors wake up that early in the morning? No, we didn't. That exception aside, however, this song has senior written all over it. Now, while there are many inspirational lyrics from the song that I could choose from, and I'm sure my classmates would prefer that I mention everyone, I've limited myself to a few. So, first, Rebecca makes this astonishingly sophisticated observation that can only be described as a pearl of sheer wisdom. Quote, "Yesterday was Thursday," unquote. William Shakespeare, who, let's just be honest, does pale a bit next to the poetic genius of Rebecca Black, stated, quote, "Reflection is the business of man. A sense of his state is his first duty," unquote. So, I invite you, class of 2012, to look back at Thursday with me and reflect on the things and people who helped you to make it here, helped you to make it to this Friday. First of all, families, thank you for always being there. Administration, faculty, teachers, thank you for always being there. Guidance counselors, thank you for always being there. School custodians, thank you for always being there. Bus drivers, although I often wished you were there about 10 minutes later, thank you for always being there and for stopping during the many mornings we had to chase after you down the streets in front of our houses. Emphasis on we, because that wasn't just me, right? That was all of us? Good. Coaches, Thank you for always being there. Cats, dogs, fish, parrots, little siblings, basically pets of any kind. Thank you for always being there. Dutchway Baker, who makes those free cookies for kids 10 and under. Thank you for always being there. Although I'll confess now, I kept eating those cookies until I was probably 14. I know that wasn't just me, right? Okay. And most importantly, comrades, companions, classmates of 2012, thank you and thank each other for always being there. In short, fellow seniors, there were many people who, how do I put this, were always there for us. From deeds so small as baking us cookies to the massive influences of our families, school faculty, and classmates. And no matter where each of us ends up this fall, or at any later time in each of our lives, we all owe it to them to not let them be forgotten. At another part in the song, Friday, Rebecca is waiting for her bus to arrive when her friends suddenly pull up in a convertible and invite her into their car. Rebecca sees them, quote, kickin' in the front seat, sittin' in the back seat, unquote, and she asks herself this profound question, quote, gotta make my mind up, which seat can I take, unquote. In a moment that illustrates the importance of not only reflecting on those who have helped one be successful, but also reflecting on oneself. Which seat can I take? Rebecca seems almost to be posing the question for this exact moment. Which seat will you take, class of 2012? It's a calling to consider self-identity and realize that after graduation, reputations are kicked to the curb. Maybe the person who always drives will decide to kick in the passenger seat from now on. Or perhaps he, who always got squished in the middle back seat, will demand a window seat, but agree in return to chip in for gas. The student who in high school never spoke in class might from this point forth be the Hermione Granger of his or her college classroom. Likewise, he who acquired a reputation for missing the bus every day and being late to school in the mornings could maybe, hopefully, change his ways so that he doesn't carry that reputation with him to college. Either that or he could just not schedule any morning classes. But I think the message is clear. So, as Rebecca Black did before entering that $80,000 convertible that her 14-year-old friends could somehow legally drive to school, never mind afford, might you, before entering what certain wise men call the real world, consider what seat you will take, who you want to be, and make the most of this opportunity to start anew. Now, some of you might pretend to mock Rebecca Black. Mr. Yell. Just know that, well, we all see right through your little charades. But if you study the lyrics closely, you'll notice that Rebecca responds to these critics Rebecca responds to these critics with a subtle yet potent message. She once again recognizes a fact that would likely pass right over most of our heads. Exhibiting remarkable awareness, she notes, quote, tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes after, unquote. Thus, the question arises, what is it now that Rebecca is trying to evoke from us with this perceptive statement? The answer? Ambition, my friends. Actually, this lyric is not only a challenge for those who don't appreciate Rebecca Black's masterpiece, but it is pertinent to every senior sitting here today. Consider those compositions that are masterpieces, that have stood upright against the test of time and courageously combated cavalries of critics. Perhaps you're thinking of Beethoven's Ode to Joy, the Beatles' Let It Be, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, or Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. I don't know what you're thinking of, and that is exactly the point. There isn't one path to greatness, While some of you will create the harmony, others will form the deep tones of the bass section. As certain individuals strum and pluck their acoustics, others will write the lyrics, and still others will scratch discs as DJs. And the best part about it is, after each of you has selected your role, if you all come together and play, you will have created a masterpiece. And now, as Rebecca reminds us, quote, "It's Friday and everybody's looking forward to the weekend," unquote. So, go find what key best suits your song. Choose which instrument you want to play when you take your seat in the orchestra or band or $80,000 convertible of life. Discover how your soundtrack can fit into those being formed around you, and persevere. Be relentless, lest the beauty and power of our generation's composition be lost. Finally, I salute you, class of 2012, and I tell you, keep playing, that the people of tomorrow, which is Saturday, by the way, may look back at today's society and say, wow, what a beautiful sound.